Rich dad, poor dad. The cash flow pattern of a rich person. So, being rich is the thing that any of us, desire to be. Now, maybe one of the things that you can use to determine whether you are there or you are yet to be there, it is your cash flow. So, and Robert T. Kiyosaki gives this as the cash flow of a rich person. We have looked on the cash flow of a poor person. We have seen the cash flow of a middle class person, and now he gives this as the cash flow of a rich person. And it's interesting that you might think that the cash flow of a rich person should not have liabilities, because for the middle class we saw that they had an income, probably from a salary, and they had expenses and they had liabilities. But what differentiates the cash flow of a rich person and the cash flow of middle person from the cash flow of a poor person is these columns that this column for the assets. You can see that the cash flow, the rich person is no longer relying on a single source of income. The poor person and the middle class were relying for an income from the job, which was a salary. But the rich person has acquired some assets. These include real estate, these include stocks, these include bonds, these include intellectual property, and it is the assets that generates income. And the income is in form of rentals, dividends, interest, royalties. So that is the kind of income that the rich people get. They still have expenses in terms of taxes and mortgages, loans payment. But one of the interesting things is that their column for the income statement, they have more sources of income than the list of expenses. And on the balance sheet, their list of assets is longer than the list of liabilities, and that changes the whole game. So from the cash flow of these rich people, it is clear that the rule of the game is the same. That spend, we should spend our money acquiring more assets than liabilities, because we can see the ripple effect. It is the assets that will generate income that will help you pay for the small expenses that we have. So let's think of how we can move towards this kind of a cash flow. And I definitely, it calls for a lot of knowledge in matters finance. It calls for a lot of financial literacy. But I think when it comes to financial literacy, such a cash flow is the end goal that we should be looking at whenever we are talking about people being financially literate.